For me to make such a bold statement as I'm about to make is unusual, but times have changed, and right now it's a real strong possibility. I'll explain $50 silver overnight as we explore. That's right. We now live in an age where silver's price is moving in such a direction that it is kind of surpassing many realistic expectations. Who knows where it's sitting right now as I record this video, but nonetheless, we know for sure that silver has been on fire in 2025, and it has gotten up over $40, something that we've only seen 2 other times before. So what is going on that could cause silver's price to dramatically rise in a quick amount of time, such as within 24 hours? Well, it really boils down to what's coming up in a few days. The meeting of the Fed on September the 17th, 2025. We have seen some metrics and some of the probabilities of what could happen that now leave it as a possibility for a surprise shock half-point rate cut. That's right. I'm going to get into that a little bit more, but with understanding what's happening with these numbers that we're looking with silver, they speak for themselves. We are in an enormous breakout for silver. I'm about to share with you the all-time best pure silver idea for the coming decade. One billionaire mining tycoon has just increased his position. On top of that, a prominent Argentinian businessman who has already invested millions in May of this year just raised his stake once more by millions of dollars just 2 weeks ago, which is the reason why I'm profiling this company to you here right now. The momentum is strong. Together, both of them now own roughly a quarter of the stock. We know that silver is $41 an ounce, which is a 14-year high. Wall Street's Bank of America forecasting $4,000 an ounce of gold, and many others are even more excited about silver. The GDX is up to an insane 85% this year, and GDXJ is up 90%. That's crazy. For the first time in history, gold's price has actually hit $3,600 an ounce recently, and the Federal Reserve just indicated in the past week that interest rate cuts are coming. Could be as soon as a September meeting just around the corner, and they could cut a half a point. That half a point cut, I think, would send silver soaring, and probably likely we would see gold reach $3,800 an ounce. This is something that is really profound, especially if the Fed were to shock us with that half-point cut. And we know that gold and silver are going to continue to rise, and likely even when the meeting comes and they cut that quarter point, it's just going to keep going up. Now, I plan to share with you my #1 silver company for this year since the debut video that I profiled on it before. The company's share price has appreciated by 140% in just over 90 days. So if you bought some when I profiled them before, you're doing very well. Now, the breakout in gold, silver, and the GDXJ index is what we've been waiting to happen since 2010. This is something that is not going to pass us by. It's a rare moment. For only the 3rd time in history has silver surpassed $40. It's a big deal. 5 years after bottoming in March of 2020 with the market panic, silver has surged by more than 200%. And this is the primary reason I am highlighting today's sponsor, Argenta Silver. And the ticker is on the OTC AGAGF. Here are the top 3 reasons Argenta Silver should be on top of everyone's mind right now. 2 highly successful businessmen with proven track records in mining are buying millions and tens of millions of shares. Both Frank Giustra and Argentinian real estate entrepreneur Eduardo Elstein, who has acquired 25 million shares in March, are major shareholders of Argenta Silver. Just 2 weeks ago, both purchased additional shares, again, putting millions of dollars into Argenta Silver. And then next is the valuation of the company. So here are the figures which tell the story. The previous owners of the Quevar spent an estimated $60 million on the project, discovering the 3rd largest pure silver deposit in Argentina and building a 100-people camp. Argentina purchased this project for only $3.5 million in September. The pure silver deposit contains silver resources of 45.3 million ounces at 482 grams per ton of silver that's been indicated, and 4.1 million ounces at 417 grams per ton inferred of silver. Less than 1% of the project area has been explored. There is a heck of a lot of potential here given the figures. This is already the third largest undeveloped pure silver deposit in Argentina. Argenta Silver now has a significant cash position, roughly $18 million in working capital, and they are drilling as we speak, so results are imminent and will continue to come for the next few months. Remember, this project was dormant for over a decade, so this drilling program is critical. And reminder that the ticker is AGAGF on the OTC. This is one of the reasons that, with gold hitting an historic all-time high, that with silver hitting a 14-year high, and with one of Argentina's most prominent businessmen, Mr. Eduardo L. Stein, with a track record in mining, investing $7.5 million in Argenta Silver, and with billionaire mining magnate Frank Giustra calling the project a vehicle to fulfill a 40-year dream of his to scale a pure play silver company, I am featuring it to you now. Situated in Argentina's top mining jurisdiction, Salta Province is the best voted jurisdiction in Latin America by the Fraser Institute for 2023. But not only that, the government and the previous owners did plenty to build the infrastructure that Argenta Silver has inherited with this acquisition. Ready-to-use camp for 100 people, about 60 kilometers of internal roads, and external infrastructure including an active railroad, a pressurized gas pipeline, and a road of high-voltage power lines. So do your homework on Argenta Silver with the ticker symbol AGAGF on the OTC. Now, with silver continuing to press that $41 mark, will we see a breakout? I think even if they just lower rates by a quarter point, it will be enough to set the momentum up, because precious metals don't pay dividends, which means they're more competitive with any kind of assets that do, and investment strategies. And we're already seeing them climb up with no movement in interest rates. Technically, the Federal Reserve is still at a pause, folks, but if they surprise us and move interest rates a half point, and the reason why I'm bringing this to you is because when you look at the metrics on the Fed Watch tool, I was actually surprised to see that 8% or a little bit less when I first reported on it were indeed out there saying that they could raise a half point. And it has fluctuated to as high as 11% thought so. Now, since then, they have moved back. But there's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot going on in the United States. And the United States certainly is the area that we're concerned about the most with what's going on with the Federal Reserve, with our dollar, which is losing value every year. By design, by the way. It's just that it's a little bit out of control. That's inflation. And so when that happens, well, they've got to act. And I think there's been so much pressure on the Federal Reserve that, who knows, they very well could lower rates a half a point this time. We know there's going to be another quarter point coming. In fact, most all believe that there's going to be continued rate cuts from now through January at least, maybe even more. So we'll see. But if they surprise us with a half point cut, that will so shock the system, the entire market. I think that silver will react, and it will react strongly because gold will react. It'll follow gold. Like I said, I would not be surprised if we saw $3,800 gold if this happens, and silver spike up. And now remember, just because it's going to surge up to $50 overnight does not mean it's going to stay there. Make no mistake. I think it would be a short shock. And usually these shocks, there's a recovery period and a consolidation period. So be prepared for that as well. But we very well could see $50 silver if this occurs. So that's what I'm thinking. And I would not bet on it, but I feel strongly that could happen. I think it will happen if there is a half point cut. Now, can I be wrong? Yes, I can. Should you buy silver if it spikes up to $50? No, do not buy any silver if it spikes up to $50. If the Federal Reserve cuts rates by a 0.5 percentage point, that would be the worst time to buy, in my opinion. Now, could I be wrong there too? Could it keep going up? Yes, it could. It's my opinion. And the opinions are just, everybody has one, like most everybody has something else. And I'll leave that up to your imagination. But there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are about this topic and Argenta Silver in the comment section down below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.